Mark tends to make it exciting by really going for it on his time. He's quite often right, even over time occasionally. He's not a fast player. He likes to find his absolute best play every time. So it's going to be, and Elie can be quite a fast player. So that is going to be interesting between them. Interesting to see how the time pans out. Yeah. Okay. Not the nicest looking combination, but some possibilities for taking some points. Has. Is it a, does it take a D? Is it actually a, yeah. Would you not play the D? I'm thinking I would play the D for the extra points. Mark is already showcasing some moves there. He had Chitos, I don't know how you pronounce it. He is showing us all the eights that he's got, lining things up on his rack with the gap missing. So he had a bonus through a T. He has a bonus through a Y that he's lined up on his rack. So he's lining up his possible options there. I don't think he's going to get one of those floaters that he needs. I would play the D on Meave. Elie hanging on to it. I think I would take the extra points. I'm really sorry if you're experiencing any issues with the sound. Joseph and I are having a lot of problems from hearing each other, so I'm not quite sure what you can hear or end. I may leave while Joseph does some commentary and hopefully be back soon. Just bear with us a few moments. Okay. Right, I believe that Joseph's having a problem with his sound, so I will carry on. And Mark I hadn't actually spotted that wasn't one of the ones that hasn't got one of the ones that he lined up. Very nice. He has spotted straight away Mohicans. That's gone down fairly quickly. So Mohicans on the board, playing the S into the triple letter. He's not going to be worried about that. You've got to play the bonus. And Elie with Radiums lined up. So we're off to a storming start. Radiums will play in a couple of different places. Well, several different places. He's taking a bit of time. I think he's probably on a hold, maybe thinking that Mohicans is like a proper noun, wondering whether to challenge or not. No, it looks like the move has been accepted. Mark has his tiles on his rack. Yeah. And again, he's got, wow, we're going to have a bonusy game to start. This ball's going to be blown absolutely open from the beginning. Elie spending a bit of time. I think I would probably be confident that I'm unlikely to have a bonus with the other through that S. So the obvious one to go for is to hook the S onto Meave and just play radiums there. He's got Mudirias through the eye for slightly fewer points. Given that Mark has just bonus and has a random rack, although we know that he's got a bonus rack, I think I would be just blowing the board open with radiums, making Meaves. I wonder what Elie is thinking at this point. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, interesting. So Elie has taken this slightly lower score. Well, slightly, it's only 1 point different. He is going to hook the D on. So much more defensive move. Takes out those lanes, or restricts the lanes through the Mohicans' letters. 74 points. Elie on 100. And Mark already got his next bonus
looks like
lined
Mark is
up on his
holding
rack.
this move, actually.
Looks like there's a challenge.
Yeah, there's going to be a challenge here.
I'm assuming that maybe it's going to be... I'm assuming that possibly Meave with the D is the word that's going to be challenged. Let's see. Which is going to get an extra 5 points for Elie. Or is it radiums? I can't see which word was actually challenged there, but I think it was just one of the words rather than both. So an extra 5 there. It's the issue with not learning meanings of things. I don't know. I possibly wouldn't have known that Meave took well, I knew from the first move, but maybe wouldn't have been sure. I think it was Meave that would have been challenged there. So privates, they're lined up on Mark's rack. Does he have anything else? He's just looking. 2 places that it plays. It still plays through either of the E's. Even though it looks like the one is slightly obstructed, it will go through either of them. So Meave, apparently a verb meaning move. I'm very bad at learning definitions. I'm sure it would help me a lot with hooks. So yeah, it takes the D. And privates for 71 points. Going down straight away. Not what Elie wants to see, straight after his bonus. Putting Mark on 153, 105. Wide open board. Still got an S down there in the triple lane. Can Elie hit another bonus? I don't think so. Not with those. He's got no vowels.
Did you have a preferred placement of privates there, Natalie, between those 2 E's?
No vowels, and would really have liked to have been playing through that S, I'm guessing, which he's not going to be able to. So at this point, you've just got to be looking at what can he score. He's only 40 odd behind, 48. What can he score? He's got some moves through the A of Mohicans. Something like Larky, maybe. Is he looking at maybe Furry? Mark has drawn the first blank. There's lined something up on his rack. Nice play here by Elie. I like that. He's going for darkly. Nice word. 30 points, keeping FR. Taking a score. Putting him on 135. So although Mark's lined his rack up, I don't know whether he's trying to show us he would have something like outlawed with an L, or whether he's actually got a bonus in mind there. I'm assuming he's not thinking that outsword is a word, nice as it would be. I think this could be a move where we could see Mark taking a little bit of time. Ellie's rack kind of getting a bit more into shape there without the WOF. It's looking quite decent, so maybe he'll be able to score something with that. And I will say now that Mark has got no playable bonus from the rack. So the best that he could do really is to definitely get rid of the W. W's are not great bonus letters, possibly something like YOW. 27 points, still plenty of lanes and openings at the top. I don't think he would particularly be looking to leave that triple open necessarily, just because he's got the blank. It may well disappear next time. Elie could easily get some little 3-letter word in front of the S and get some points from it. So I think maybe something like Yao. I'm sure he's going to take a little while thinking about this. I'd say ideally he needs to get rid of the W, preferably keep the D as keeping a consonant. But it looks like he is considering WD onto the S. I guess there are plenty of consonants still to play through. I think prefer Yao just for the points. It's 27 points. WUDS is 24 and doesn't keep a consonant. It's going to be interesting to see if Mark takes a long time and if Elie speeds up how things are going to go in this game. Because Mark will absolutely not want to be missing a bonus. Five games in, 2 players unbeaten. We've got Harshan and Femi, both unbeaten. Zachary Dang, who we saw on stream earlier today, I believe, is doing really well. 4.5 wins, so just 4 wins and a draw. Excellent start by him. Okay, Mark has gone for that new word that I mentioned, UWU, uwu. reasonable to play off, yeah. Seems reasonable to play off the two tiles that are obviously the standout worst tiles on his rack. The only thing about that, I guess, is that it doesn't score anything, but presumably he wants to leave that S at the bottom. But very quickly, Elie has indeed speeded right up. Maybe that's his tactic now, that he's going to play quickly. He's gone straight for SWARF. Not sure why he didn't just play WOFS there. It would have been a nicer leave of ANRT. But yeah, he's gone straight for it for an extra 3 points, keeping NOT. Right, Mark hit a bit of trouble in terms of playing a bonus, drawing the Q and the Z. A little bit unlucky there. And the score's pretty much level, 1 point in it. Ideally, you would be looking to ditch the Q first, as by far the worst of those two power tiles, but he can score big with his Z to the left of Mohican, so maybe he's just going to take the points. He could get actually 50 points if he uses the A as well. He's got Zoe lined up, probably wants to keep the A to go with the Q. Just trying to work out what Ellie's lining up on his rack there. Look like he might be going through a couple of disconnected letters, but I can't see it. So I think ZO looks like the play. And I am a little bit worried about the time he's taking, because I feel like Ellie's going to capitalise later or try to. "10 minutes used with lots of game left to go." I played Mark for the first time in 2013, I think, at the BMSC, when I was completely ignorant about the whole of Scrabble. I'm sorry to say I had absolutely no idea who he was. Somebody said, "You're playing Mark Nyman." Can't believe I didn't know. I knew very little about Scrabble at the time. And somehow managed to, I think that's probably because I had no idea who he was and completely drew the bag. I haven't done quite so well against him since. He's got to be going for ZO. Wondering what's going through his head there. Yeah, there we go. Unlikely to bonus next time, so I'm presuming he's looking at that I and thinking he might get QADI next time. Right, I was expecting Elie to just slap something down now to try and hurry him up, but he's also taking a little bit of time. Just wondering what he's got lined up. TOPEN. Ah, okay. Right, that's a nice play. Top men through the M of radiums. 29 points. Quackle liking point just through the eye of privates. 3 fewer points, but keeping ENT. I think top men looks good though. Keeping him in touch. 194 and mark on 214. Just looks like Mark is considering Quaered there. He's got it lined up on his rack. Is indeed a word. Plays for 81 points. So I don't know what would be going. I guess he's thinking, yeah, there we go. So played in 2 spots, 81. He's going for the highest spot. There we go. It's going to be a bit of a blow to Elie. It's going to put Mark on 295. Elie on 197. So 100 to catch up from this point. Great play by Mark. Also a little bit lucky there. Quite surprising to get the bonus with the Q, having played off the Z. Really good. Well spotted. Elie got sexting lined up on his rack. I don't know if he was actually planning on playing that through the eye. I guess it's possible, but anyway, now blocked. So he has one standout move. Oops. Or he would, beg your pardon, I've put, not helped by the fact that I've put 8 tiles into Quackle, and he's now, according to me, got 8 tiles on his rack. He doesn't have what I thought he had. But yeah, he's lined up Xing, which is probably his best play. 30 points. You have to try so hard at this point to kind of not take any notice of the fact that you're 100 behind. There's an awful lot of game left. It can definitely turn round from here. Blank to come. All the S's, I believe, yeah, all the S's are now gone. 3 on the board and 1 on Elie's rack. But another blank to come. Xing is really his best option. Needs to get rid of some of those consonants. 30 points is decent score. And yeah, we're going to see that go down. So just a bonus behind now. 70 or so behind. This is the point at which, if I'm Elie, I want to see Mark changing or scoring very little. But he's drawn the J. The other good thing about Xing is it restricts parallel plays down using QI. Be able to, so somebody may be able to score a little bit down there, but it's not going to be a big threat. Right, great play again. Mark is playing JAG onto the existing G there, so making J double G. He had a higher scoring option. He could have played JEAT to the left of AERE, right on the triple there, which would have been a really nice 52 points, but leaving himself with GGL. So probably not worth the extra points for what he would have left. Is Elie going to make the same mistake that I did and hook an S onto UWU? I think probably not. So, because he's got bonus now on his rack, he has battens on his rack, but I'm not sure he has anywhere to play it. best that he can actually do is to score some points down to the left on that triple next to the ERE and keep himself a nice something like tab there, keep himself ENST. But unfortunately, he's counting on an S bonus, and at the moment, there's nowhere to play one. And Mark, being far ahead, is not going to open a lane for him. So difficult situation for Elie. He almost needs to make another lane, but by doing a few points. Looks as though he has split BAT away from the rest of the rack, so playing to the left. Actually, TAB obviously scores a little bit more for 31. But he knows that where is he going? Yeah, there we go. TAB, yeah. But the trouble is, where is his bonus going to go? He's going to have to hope perhaps for an 8-letter word. So, yeah, 258 then for Elie, 334 for Mark. Mark got onglet lined up on his rack. I think that's possibly one of the new words. Well, reasonably new word. I don't know if he's looking to play it particularly, but it does play. Always a good idea, or can be a good idea when you're ahead, to get through the tiles, rush towards the end of the game while you're ahead before your opponent has a chance to catch up. So onglet looks a good move on a board that is not all that bonus friendly. Quackle likes a move which is a 6-letter word using 4 of the tiles through the R and the G. Playing Orogen, 21 points. I quite like the look of onglet there. I think I would be looking to go for some tile turnover, and it's quite blocky. Yeah. There's always a chance as well, depending on the opponent, that with one of the newer words you're going to get a challenge. £17 points. I was just wondering, so I think we may have got a hold there. As I say, it's one of the newer words to come in. It was interesting the way Mark put it down. The GLET went down first, and I could see Elie was kind of wondering what was going to come in front of it. And yeah, it looks like it wasn't. Yeah, and it's going to get a challenge. I think it's a foodie word. I generally know the foodie words. But yeah, it's going to come back fine. And it's blocky. It's blocked the lane from that A. It's blocked the lane from the G. Nice play there. So yeah, an extra 5 points there for Mark. Elie's rack is still not really Y's and I's together. Don't tend to go hugely well. And yeah, Elie's drawn 2 I's and a Y to go with his nice leave. And the board is getting choked. Very tricky. It's so difficult with any of these players of Mark's type of caliber. If you get behind, it is so difficult to get control of the board. You just know that you're not going to be able to make anywhere for the bonuses that you really need. Nice play though by Elie, playing off Tivy. I like that very much. Could have held on to the T, possibly. I don't think there's much to choose. Possibly holding the T. I think the bag is slightly foul heavy, but yeah, an extra 4 points for using the T there. So yeah, nice play. 303 to Elie, not that far behind now, and 356 to Mark. And Elie with a nice leave, so we will see. So Mark lined up FOEHN, the first 5 tiles, that came out, making a word on his rack, and then the B and the U, which wasn't all that helpful with them. Poor Elie is not drawing well. He kept such a nice leave, and that was a nice play with Tivy, and he's drawn IIU, which is really, really not what he wanted to see at this point. So Mark just 53 ahead, not safe yet, but very restricted board in terms of bonuses. He needs to keep the board tight. He might be looking in the bottom left-hand corner, maybe, playing through that N of Mohicans. He can score kind of 20 or so down there. Possibly not going to be too worried about his leave. He's not going for bonuses. He just needs to score and stay ahead, not open up. Sorry, I feel slightly, maybe I shouldn't be saying he's thinking. He's probably thinking something completely different, being rated a lot higher than I am, but just thinking through how I would be thinking at this point. He's not really going to be able to keep a particularly nice leave, whatever he does. Mark's time is, not too bad in terms of the number of tiles left. He should be all right. Something like FONE. This is where I just don't have the capacity, I think, to think it through. I'd just be thinking, well, I need to not open. I'll stick FONE down in the bottom left. And if he wants a bonus lane, he's going to have to open something up. It keeps me kind of a bonus ahead. Right, something different from Mark. Okay, so he wants to hold on to his vowels, having saw him checking his tracking there. Interesting. I'm wondering what his reasoning is behind FEH. Possibly wanted to get rid of the 2 higher consonants and is still looking at, I suspect he's definitely looking at what he might play next time and what is holding back. But Elie has not drawn well. He's got 3 I's and a U, which is pretty grim at this point. I'm wondering if I would be even considering changing his 73 behind. He can make use of, I guess, of the I with the QI. He's got uni lined up. My worry for that would be how much am I going to give back again? I'm going to score 28. I'm probably going to give exactly the same back again. But that's what he has done. Only 1 more I left unseen, so unlikely to draw one. And Mark got a reasonably friendly looking rat there. just 45 points ahead. So he must be feeling not completely safe with the blanks still to come and only 5 minutes on his clock. Mark never seems hassled by the time pressure. I've seen him go low on time many games and overtime as well. The thing is, like most players of his sort of level, if he needed to play really quickly, he absolutely can. Okay. So yeah, as kind of suspected, 30 points for him there in the spot opened by Uni. So a little bit of a trade of moves there, and Mark coming off a couple of points ahead. Quackle actually prefers him playing, not using that spot, playing something like EUOI. I call that much. Tab looks good to me. Stay a bonus ahead. There are no scoring tiles left really. So Elie needs a bonus. And Mark's going to make sure he doesn't have anywhere for one. Completely be killed by Mark. I'm not quite sure how at the moment. Checking his tracking. Interesting point that you can see them players at this level, they're checking their tracking throughout the game. It's not just for the end game. Very important throughout to know what's left, a balance of probabilities of what might be coming up. Right, so he's playing Idea. Quite like this. This is using 4 tiles, which is good in this situation, trying to chase the goodies that are in the bag. It does make Lane, although slightly difficult one to use, but it means that Mark has possibly got to do something with it. He's also kind of luring Mark to open up from that A to the triple. And Elie has hit the blank. So scores then, 356 to Elie, 406 to Mark. Elie with a nice bonus friendly rack there. 3 tiles in the bag, so quite a lot for Mark to think about with 4 minutes on his clock. Mark still, I would think, should be favourite to win this game. He just needs to play it really cautiously. He definitely can't afford to open the bag. And he needs to find some way of obstructing that lane that's to the right of Idea. One possibility, he could play something like 00 next to the ON of Onglet, making that lane a lot more difficult for Elie to parallel down. Elie must have many bonus options there. I don't know if he's lining up ones that fit currently. 3 minutes on Mark's clock. I wonder if we will see him going overtime. Mark's hand covering the tiles there. He's got 3 O's, U and ELN. Got to play 2 tiles. I think double O to the right of the ON of Onglet. It's got to be up there amongst his best options. That would make it really difficult for Elie to bonus. Elie would have to play one tile to make another lane, which Mark is going to hopefully be able to kill. I think that's idolised that Ellie's lining up a few different possibilities, but he needs to wait because things are going to change in that area of the board. Oof, is Mark going to Mark looking like he might be? Nope, not going to empty the bag. Wow, okay. So he has played double O, but not where I expected him to play it. I think possibly because it is more points and maybe he feels that he can withstand a bonus from Elie. He's 70 ahead now. So 20 points for double O where he played it. Very interesting move. Elie's got his playable bonus lined up. He would score 79 points for Iolites. And it's not going to be the play. He cannot. It's always interesting at this point that mostly bonusing is the correct move. Mostly it's not often correct to turn down a bonus, but if Elie bonuses, he's not going to win. He needs to play one tile. As Mark will easily score enough in his next move. McQuackle is saying some very strange things and implying that the bonus would win, but I don't actually believe that's correct. A frustrating Quackle in the pre-end game is not always right. I don't think it quite counts the missing the unused tiles correctly. So Ellie's got to play off an eye, and he has. With 1 minute for Mark. Good for Mark that he's got that C. I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to use that as a bit of a blocker so that he doesn't inadvertently make another lane. But Elie has got super flexible tiles. So much for Mark to think about there. Right. Playing quickly of Cooley. 30 points for Cooley. He needs to get that down. His time is nearly out. He can't afford to lose the points on going over time. So he is going to let Elie have one of the many bonuses that he's got available to go out. So good, a really well played game by both of them there. Ellie's probably going to take his time. He's got lots of bonus options for going out. If he spots his best ones, he could score 84 points, but it's not going to be enough. Mark put himself about 100 ahead. So really interesting play by Mark there. That double O, that N double O, he was just taking the points to make sure that he stayed far enough ahead, and actually allowing Elie the bonus. Well, didn't have much option, but giving Elie the bonus at the end there, but he had stayed far enough ahead to withhold it. Interesting game. Actually, Cooley is on hold at the moment. Yeah, I didn't miss the fact that Elie said hold. He's probably realising that he cannot win, if Cooley is a word. I know it as a normal word rather than a Scrabble word, but I think it's going to be challenged. Elie has to challenge. It's the only, unless he's absolutely 100% sure, he has to challenge because he knows that he can't win, if that's a word. I think I know all of the foodie words for some reason, so I'm quite sure it's a word. Is that two foodie words that have been challenged? Oh, yeah. 359 and 456, they've agreed on the scores, which is what I have as well. Great ending to this game. Ellie's got as long as he likes to decide whether to challenge or not. Mark has no tiles to draw from the bag. So he can decide whether or not he's going to challenge, but he must, I presume he needs to score sort of 90 something to win from there. Elie just checking that he's got, which he has, he's got as much as no time. Normally, your opponent will get a courtesy draw, meaning that after 30 seconds of being on hold, they can draw their tiles, which they have to keep separately from the normal from their other tiles on their rack, but at least they can be thinking. But the bag's empty, so Elie can decide, look at the best scoring bonus that he can find, and decide whether or not to challenge. And I'm thinking he will challenge. Yeah, here we go. So it's going to give Mark another 5 points. Good. A matchup of the sort of calibre that we would hope for from these two. Really well played by both of them. So Ellie's best bonuses, he's got a couple of choices which have quite a number of overlaps, which score 84. Not the easiest to find. And interestingly, the next ones after that, yeah, he's actually gone for one of the lower ones. But yeah, the others, actually, let's see, he hasn't finished yet. Let's see. The lower ones are only scoring 67 or 69. But if he spots one of the higher ones, he can get 84 points. Not easy under pressure. Just over 2 minutes. Such a lot of mental energy needed, and it's only day one. Oh, here we go. It looks like he is going to find one of the higher ones. Excellent. Yeah, very nice. So another food word. It's been a very foodie game. Rissole going down for 84 points. So well found there by Elie. Which means Mark will be the winner by 16 points. I believe Elie on 444 and Mark on 460. Bit of a dispute over there. It's hard with all those overlaps sometimes to work out exactly what the score is for the move. 84. Yeah, 444, 460. Oh, very tense game there.